So are you asking that if the government was to found a religion, it would be the majoritarian?
Yes.
I feel that it would be. Yeah. And as he was saying, they were founded on Judeo-Christian principles.
Right.
I would slightly disagree, more deistic principles.
Then let's hear your side of that. If you don't believe that America was founded on Judeo-Christian beliefs, then what do you think America was founded on?
It was founded on the Enlightenment movement, found in the philosophers from Thomas Locke, Hobbes, and the free thinkers of that time. Thomas Jefferson was often openly called an atheist. He admitted being a deist. Benjamin Franklin said many inflammatory things towards the Christian church and Christianity in general. You have many of the founding fathers, including George Washington, who refused to take communion and only went to church because of his wife. James Madison, also not a practicing Christian. So many of the founding thinkers of our country didn't think so highly of Christianity. And pretty much that's it.
Give me your rebuttal on that.
That the founders were not Christians?
Right.
Well, I mean,
but they were pretty much free thinkers, and that America was not founded on Judeo-Christian beliefs.
Oh no, here's the thing. Deists at that time were a different form of, say, free-thinking Christians. They didn't necessarily hearken to any particular dogma. However, they were Christians nonetheless. That's what they identified themselves. For instance, here, and it just wasn't about Christianity.
Okay.
It was about the religious principles on which this nation would be founded. Not just necessarily Christian principles.
Okay.
I'm sure "thou shalt not kill" ended up, making it onto our law books in some form or another.
Okay.
For instance, here's George Washington just talking about God and his relationship to America. I am sure there never was a people who had more reason to acknowledge a divine interposition in their affairs than those of the United States. And I should be pained to believe that they have forgotten that agency, which so often manifested during our Revolution, or that they failed to consider the omnipotence of that God, who alone is able to protect them. So here's the thing. God is founded in our nation. Religion is founded in our nation. Maybe not a particular religion, but the principles of a religion are founded within our society and within our nation.
Okay. Okay. Do we have a rebuttal on that?
The principle to reject those religions are also founded within the principles of our nation.
Next question, guys. Next question. On all of our money we have inscripted, "In God we trust." Give me your feelings about that particular saying on all the currency that's passed through that we use to buy things in America. Do you think that we should get rid of it? Do you think it should stay there? Do you think it should be changed? Democrat.
I don't really take offense to it. I use debit cards mostly. But,
I do too.
Who carries cash, right? But it was added in the 1950s during McCarthyism, and it was actually added onto the coins right after the Civil War as part of the getting the South back to common union. But it really, some people find it offensive, but I think the majority of people don't really care.
Okay. Mr. Republican, can I get your opinion?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Again, another thing Mark and I will happen to agree on tonight. I honestly believe the majority of people, if they pull out a dollar bill and they see "In God We Trust," well, one, they're probably not even going to pay attention to it to begin with because they're going to spend it anyway. But two, the majority of Americans wouldn't care. I believe it's somewhere around over 90% of the American populace is religious or believes in God in some way, shape, or form. 90%. The problem that has arisen is the atheistic left has said, no, God has to be removed from all elements of society, and they're the absolute minority. So now we have what's now known as the tyranny of the minority. So,
okay, that's a heavy accusation. I'm going to be fair. Now, first of all, I want to make something clear to you guys. I am agnostic. And I will tell you guys now, if you see me smiling at something that he said, then it doesn't mean that I necessarily agree, or if you see me smiling at something he said, it's just that I kind of like this back and forth. So far, we got 2 for 2, and everybody seems to enjoy and seem to have something in common with each other. So you see, together, absolutely, together, even though there are 2 separate groups here, we got 2 people who have agreed so far. Okay, it's going to get hard now. Next question is this. Do you honestly believe that religion governs your everyday life? Do you make decisions based on your religious beliefs, be it Catholic, be it Buddhism, be it Muslim, whatever you claim to be? Does that religion govern your everyday life? Democrat.
Yes, being an atheist does govern every moment of my life. It allows me to look for, happiness, enjoy my friends, my family, and make the choices that I think are morally right. And being a non-practicing religious person gives me a little more free time too.
Okay, sir.
Well, I'm a Catholic, and here's the thing, Mark. Not everyone who belongs to religion tends to go to church all the time. I happen to be one of those. The Christmas, Easter Catholic now. Unfortunately, here's the thing. Personally, religion may not govern every single aspect of my thinking. However, I do take it personally into account. There may be certain things that I do. I know if I'm going to pass by something in a store, I'm probably not that inclined to steal it. Why? Because religion hasn't just said that stealing is wrong. Morals that have been based on religion have said stealing is wrong. Okay. So, and for the majority of Americans, I think that's the same thing. Maybe not religion will govern every aspect of their lives, but religion has provided that foundation for which they can actually function in a civil society.
Okay. Good question. Question. Tell me the difference between moral living and religious living. What's the difference?
There's a huge difference. I mean, if you actually take a look at some of the rules written in religion, they're not very moral. There is a lot of immorality written in religious texts. Not specifically the Bible or Christian doctrine, but if you take a look at Muslim doctrine, or you take a look at doctrine of Judaism or anything like that, there is a lot of immorality written into those scriptures. So being moral isn't necessarily about being religious. It's about looking at what's right and wrong. And morality, if you let's say take a look at it in a philosophical context, we can have a 2-year debate on that. It solves absolutely nothing. But there's a huge difference between being religious or being pious and being moral.
Okay, same question.
I mean, again, wow. A third time. I thought you said you asked hard questions, sir.
Oh, I do.
No, yeah, we have to agree.
But I just want you guys to understand there's more here in common than most people think. But go on.
No, there is. And as Mark said, yeah, there is a huge difference between living religiously and just simply living morally. Again, what morals come from religion, but religion may not necessarily govern and guide us every single day of our lives. We use the morals that religion had taught us, so that's pretty much that.
Okay, all right, okay. All right, last question coming up for religion. Okay. Do you believe the state, now let's talk about capital punishment. Okay? Capital punishment, which encompasses moral judgment as well